Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the January 29th meeting of the Delhi Township Board of Trustees. In a moment, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, and then a moment of silence will follow the Pledge of Allegiance. We have so many things for our moment of silence tonight, so if you indulge me for a minute. First of all, someone whose family actually was born and raised in Delhi that some might not have known, but with the death of Todd Portune, we will remember Todd tonight, and we have a special proclamation later which we'll talk about a little bit more about Todd Portune. Also, Judge Nathaniel Jones, a civil rights attorney, long time, practiced up into his 90s, didn't he, Brian? And just another incredible voice.
Walking around if we had the same office building.
Always out and about there, yeah. And of course, you know, one of the other that's all over in the news is Kobe Bryant and things like that. And I know he was an incredible basketball player and just a role model for many. But I was impressed when I was following the news clippings on Kobe and what he and his daughter had done right before boarding that helicopter. Anyone know what they did?
They went to Mass.
Yeah, they just came from Mass. They just came from church to really put first things first, which was their faith. So I celebrate that man of faith also. So we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes, please.
Motion to approve the minutes from the Board of Trustees meeting held on January 8th, 2020, and dispense with the reading.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve bills for payment.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve the payment of overtime for pay periods ending January 14th, 2020.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved. Report from the fiscal officer.
We have a motion to open and read aloud Delhi Township Street Rehabilitation and Repair Project 2020-A bids.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved.
All right, we'll go ahead and open those up. The first one is R.A. Miller Construction Company. And their bid is $782,034.75. 782,034.75. Next one is Pruce Construction. And their bid price is $840,755.13. 840,755.13. Next is Adlita Construction. Their bid is $810,948.36. 810,948.36. Next is John R. Jurgensen. And their bid is $866,981.69. 866,981.69. And last is Rack and Baller Excavating Company. And their bid is $803,585.30, 803,585.30.
Thank you so much. Thank you for those that took the time to put in the bids. If you saw the booklets, each one, I couldn't imagine how many hours work time goes into those. And one will be selected. Thank you so much. Can you continue with the resolutions, please?
Resolution 2020-008, resolution amending revenues and amending appropriations for expenses, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Is there any discussion on this resolution?
If you want me to briefly tell you what's happening here, I'd be happy to. We have the FEMA project coming up for Rapid Run. This is a Phase 3. Yes. So this is pass-through money, so we have to count it in as revenue to play the bank, and then it passes back through. So literally, we're adding the revenue that is going to be accounted for in the project and then appropriating the same exact amount.
All right. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2020-009, resolution authorizing the Township Administrator to spend greater than $10,000 on behalf of the Township, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution? This has been before us before. I think we're good. Unless
Yes,
you had
this is a
something you want to add?
new process for this year where you're approving anything over $10,000 through this resolution. These are all budgeted items, and then they don't need to be bid in any other fashion or anything else done. So this is just capturing the approval to do those expenses over $10,000.
Very good.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, resolution passes.
As far as significant transactions since the last meeting, on 123, we received $23,000 for the local government fund and $27,000 for the gasoline tax. As far as disbursements, on 123, our payroll was $354,000, a little higher than usual. We did have our police and fire longevity payments and our fire personnel time payout. That's all I have.
Great, thank you so much. Trustee correspondence, Trustee Sturts.
Yes, I was contacted a couple times over the past couple weeks, and one of them was regarding what's going into the now defunct Indian restaurant, AKA Old Delhi Chili. Honestly, we don't know, okay? People are saying that they know for sure. Until somebody purchases a property or leases the property or something is done that's tangible, we really can't say or won't say because it's not a done deal. So there's lots of talk out there. It may be right, it may not be. So when we say we can't say, it's because we really don't know until something's solidified. Because as you know, a deal's not a deal until the deal is done kind of situation. So we're not being coy by any means. It's just, that's our procedure. And again, we can't and we shouldn't say anything. So number one. Number two, a request was put in by a couple residents that live in the Bandana Panther Court area, and I just want to let them know that you were heard, and I did send the information on to the appropriate people in the township to look at that request. And thirdly, for about the fourth time, I've been contacted about Palomino and putting in a speed bump. Speed bumps are not recommended throughout the township. Where do you stop putting them in? When you put one in, the police will set up not a speed trap, but a speed regulator. It's not proven that speed bumps really slow down traffic in the first place. It's not good when the plows come through when we have snow. They're going to be destroyed eventually anyway. And when our emergency equipment is going through there, it's also a hazard. So again, thank you for your inquiries. We do send them on. I do get answers for you, and I want everybody to publicly know that what you ask us or what you ask us to look into, we do that. So thank you for your inquiries. Keep them coming.
Thank you, Trustee Sturts. Great points. And if you think about how many times we've heard stuff that was coming into the township, all the way from Olive Gardens to everything else, we'd be there all day with that. But I can assure you, as I know, that there are lots of great things and things being planned that hold tight here in 2020. You can see some good things and some things that you've been waiting for a while, I believe. More on that for another day, I hope. Trustee Seavey, please.
Yeah, I would like to thank St. Dominic's for again inviting us and putting on a beautiful presentation of the naturalization ceremony of 70 new United States citizens this past week. St. Dominic's and their PTA and their staff and their kids do a wonderful job with this ceremony. It's our privilege and honor to represent the township at this ceremony, and it's quite moving. It's a complete renewal of our own citizenship, and we certainly enjoyed the privilege of being there representing Delhi. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Trustee Seavey. I just have the one comment, which I think everyone in this room and beyond had felt a couple of weeks ago when the information came out about the farm and possibly closing and everything with the IRS, everything that went on with that. But we are thrilled that that is resolved. I know everyone here sitting up here was contacted by several asking what the township is going to do about this and what we can do. And we kind of held pat because we knew that Danny Elsasser and the family had some ideas and some plans that they were working on, and it seemed to pan out. I applaud Danny and his family, not so much on how it all came about, but the one thing that he kept saying when people tried to give him cash and anything to try and help with that bill, he says, no, just pray for us. Pray, pray, pray. If anyone knows Danny, he's certainly a man of faith. And I think the Lord has given him a new lease on life there with the farm and an incredible donor that stepped up. So God bless the farm for many, many more years to come, I hope. And hopefully they have some plans, too, to maybe spice things up a little bit, pardon the pun, there at the farm, and maybe make some things anew while also embracing the tradition of the farm. So again, in 2020, maybe hopefully some good things there, too. So thank God for answered prayers there, and congratulations to the Elsasser family. That's all I have.
Support local.
Support local business. Amen. How many times we said that? Good. Right. Good. Hey, we have a special presentation tonight. Yes, this is good news. Jerome H. Kearns, could you please stand and come forward? The gentleman here, Mr. Kearns, has been on our Board of Zoning Appeals for 27 years. That deserves applause right there. He started on January 1st, 1993, serving on the Board of Zoning Appeals. If you look over his right shoulder, you'll see two other people sitting out there, Mr. Joe Shear and Rob Ash. Rob, will you raise your hand? 25 years. Give him some love, if you would. And Joe Shear, 42 years serving on the board. Added up, comes to 94 years of service dedicated to this community. Isn't that awesome? Mm-hmm. Jerry, first of all, on behalf of everyone you see in this room and tens of thousands of others, thank you. Thank you for your commitment, your concern, and your love and dedication to the township. We have a special dedication for you, but before we do that, it seems like you have a word or two that you would like to say.
I have no speeches. I do want to thank you for this recognition, and it's been a real honor working for the trust, for the Delhi Township. You see, you meet a lot of people. You'll see places. We've lived here for 46 years now, and you find places that you didn't know existed here in the township, and that's neat. It was neat working with the fellow board members, and it's been a great experience, and I thank you for the opportunity to have this.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we have a wonderful gift here. I will come down there. You hold still. Coming with me or no? Jerry, on behalf of Delhi Township, we proudly give you this. I'm going to let you hold this. That one's loose up there, and you can hold up for everyone to see the Crystal Coastal, the Crystal Coaster set. Thank you, the Intercoastal. So, but that is on behalf of everyone in Delhi Township, the residents, everyone who, as we say so many times, the most precious commodity you have is your time. So thank you for giving so much of your time, and I'm sure your wife might be thrilled that you're going to be around more. Is that a good thing or not? I don't know.
We'll see.
But that'll be, God bless the journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we get a picture?
In turn, we'll get one nice picture here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, it's been great.
Thank you so much. We missed you last night, too. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Joe.
Keep up the good work.
And of course, when you see three like that leave, you also know that others that have stepped up in order to fill those spots. So we thank them too, and I'm sure the incredible leadership and support that you've offered by example will shine through them hopefully also. Thank you. Okay, we have also a presentation tonight from Alan March with the Delhi Historical Society. Alan, welcome. Thanks for coming out on a cold Wednesday.
Thanks for having me here. I don't know how special it's going to be. Just want to remind you that Delhi Historical Society is out there, and if you ever have any questions about history in Delhi or the surrounding areas, think of us first. We want to be top of mind when you're thinking about history in Delhi. A couple of things going on. We started a capital campaign back in October to replace a boiler. We had a 60-year-old boiler. It was supposed to last 20 years, and we got our money's worth out of that. So the community responded, and we've got a new boiler there now. We're about 41% into our campaign. We are still looking to rehab our signature wraparound porch. So if people haven't donated yet, we're still looking for them to do so. We are currently assessing that. I think this is a very exciting acquisition we got from the Oak Hills Local School District. We're really trying to build some bridges there, and Krista Ramsey there reached out to us, and the district donated to us 6 containers of print and digital photos, VHS, DVD, and mini DV videotapes. We're going to spend a long time going through these. These photos date back to about the late 1970s up to about 2010. We've actually got a Mount St. Joe student that's helping us with this. So it's be a good long-term project for us. And lastly, we've got some upcoming programs coming up every month. We have a monthly meeting, and there's always a program associated with it. People are invited to attend. Our next one is February 10th, and the topic is Helen Hamilton Gardner and the Secret History of Women's Suffrage in America. This is the centennial of American women getting the vote across the country. And this program is being presented by Kimberly Hamlin, who is a professor of women's studies at Miami University. It should be a great presentation. It's at the Delhi Lodge, 7 p.m. Admission is free. Bring your friends. I will leave this here, and hopefully somebody can put this up on the website. So if anybody wants to visit the Township website, they can see our upcoming events all the way through June of this year. Anybody have any questions about the society?
I do, Alan. I have a question.
Yes.
I believe the Delhi School is about to celebrate 100 years within the next couple of years. Are you going to work with Oak Hill School District to maybe have a celebration for the 100-year anniversary of Delhi School?
That's a great idea, and actually that's a nice segue. Wasn't going to mention this, but we are developing a exhibition right now, the Schools of Delhi. And we hope to have that open this spring. We've identified at least 29 different schools within the township or just outside the township which have served the students of Delhi, dating back to the 1830s. I was not aware of the centennial. Is that what,
I think it's in-
1927?
I think it's in 2 years.
Okay.
I think that's about right. Pete, I think you've looked that up too, haven't you? The 100 years for that building?
I'm glad you didn't say he was there.
No. No.
I didn't know where she was going.
Great idea. We will look into that.
I didn't do that to you.
I know that.
All right.
Thanks for having me. Expect to see me a couple more times throughout the year.
Alan, may I ask you a question, please?
Certainly.
Talking about the fundraiser, the capital campaign, and I know you said you're about 43% into it, but for those that want to donate, for those that happen to watch our meeting online or something like that, could you just spell out, for those that would like to make a donation to that capital campaign, this would be a great resource. So who do they send a check to? Who do they make the check out to? And
Delhi Historical Society. Our address is 468 Anderson Ferry Road, 45238. You can actually go online to our website and make a donation through PayPal. We got to pay a couple percent, but if your donation's big enough, it's okay. You can also send us an email at info@delhihistoricalsociety.org. We recently got a very generous donation from some residents over on Alomar, and they had called up. They wanted to get our 501c3 number, and they made a donation from some of their family investments. That's one thing we're going to work on, is encouraging people to remember us in their planned giving and eventually in their estate planning, so they can leave a legacy after they're gone.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.
We have a public hearing tonight. Community development, please.
Motion to approve the opening of the public hearing for amendments to the text of the zoning resolution per case ZC 2019-03.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved. Greg DeLong, please, Community Development Director here tonight.
Yes, thank you. What you have before you tonight are two sections of the code that we did a modification to. With the help of the BZA members who are actually sitting in the audience tonight, we actually are codifying what a variance is. We don't even have a definition in our code, but everyone comes before the board asking for a variance. So we define what a variance is, and that falls under Article 3 of the code. And then under Article 18 of the code, we've actually added factors that they will be using to make their decisions. So they're codified now. We had a list before that were not codified. We weren't quite sure where they came from. The language was a little jumbly. So what we're doing is actually codifying it so we have it in the code, and this is for use and area variances. So that is pretty much what we did. This went down. We actually ran it through the BZA first and our law director, and then sent it over to the zoning commission. They sent it then downtown to the regional planning commission. It's been on a long road to get here. And then they actually made no modifications, came back to the zoning commission, and they recommended approval and have sent it to you for a recommendation of approval.
That is great. Yeah, it cleans it up and makes it
Definitely
very
cleans it
clear.
up.
That is awesome. Thank you. Any questions? Trustee Sturts?
No.
Trustee,
Self-explanatory.
yeah, Trustee Seavey?
No, I'm good.
Very good. We have a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing for amendments to the zoning resolution.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion approved. Public Works, please.
Motion directing notice to abutting property owners by mail and publication of the hearing on the sidewalk assessment to be held on February 26, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved. Ron Ripicher's here. Ron?
Thank you, trustees. This is from 2019 sidewalk program, just setting up the final hearing, and that'll complete that year's sidewalk program.
Very good. Resolution?
Resolution 2020-010, resolution authorizing and directing the Hamilton County Auditor to remove Delhi Township sidewalk assessment from the record of 5132 Whitmore Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45238, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any other discussion?
This was a clerical error that was caught early, and this is the only way to remove the assessment.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. I move to dispense a second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes,
Davis?
Yes, yes. Resolution passes Fire Department, please. Chief Campbell is here also. Good. Hiring recommendations?
Motion to approve the hiring of Pastor Garrett Lee Breyer as a volunteer chaplain for the fire department.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved. So that will be two. So we have two chaplains for the fire, correct?
Correct. Garrett will be our co-chaplain and with Father Ben, and I hope to have him up here in a future meeting to introduce him to the township and everybody else.
That would be great, and I hope their services are being used because both of them are great instruments to
Very valuable.
tap into. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of part-time firefighter EMT Lance H. Fujitani, effective October 26, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of part-time firefighter EMT James H. Rice, effective February 3rd, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved.
Can I question, please, Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Sturts?
Are they getting full-time jobs, or, I mean,
Lance had conflicts with his paramedic school. James just learned that he has been offered a full-time job with Springdale Fire Department. So
Bless him.
we
Okay.
wish him well.
Yeah.
Thank him for his service to Delhi.
Great, thanks, Chief. Parks and Recreation, please.
Resolution 2020-011, resolution authorizing the trade-in of one 2012 John Deere 72-inch mower and one 1999 Easy Go golf cart with the value credited against the purchase prices, declaring an emergency and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution? It's a 1999. You can't get any more use out of that?
It's a classic.
It is.
Yeah, we got tired of pushing it, so.
Yeah, we're Pico, or we could have them put in the museum or something, couldn't we? Put a plaque on it. Okay, very good.
Okay. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes. Resignation recommendations.
Motion to accept voluntary resignation of seasonal parks recreation worker Gregory L. Colvin, effective November 11th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of seasonal parks and recreation worker Wyatt A. Griner, effective November 12th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of seasonal parks and recreation worker David A. Hay, effective November 13th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of seasonal parks and recreation worker Elizabeth A. Rodersheimer, effective October 24th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of seasonal parks and recreation worker Samuel D. Seibert, effective September 9th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of seasonal parks and recreation worker Tyler J. Thielen, effective November 5th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved. Will some of them come back in the warmer weather, or
In a couple months, you're going to have resolutions to hire
to say hello again? All right. Those that were watching or those that will listen some other time will think, what in the world happened?
But there will be a couple spots available, so if anybody is interested, you can contact the Park Department at 451-3300 or go online and fill out an application, but there will be a couple spots available for our seasonal work.
Great. Thanks, Josh.
Mr. Cameron did tweet it out, so
They all know.
everybody in the
They all
township
know.
should
Oh,
know.
everybody
Not a
knows
problem.
now. Yeah.
Township Jack, correct?
Yeah,
Thank you.
all 52 of you.
Oh, dear. Police Department. Hi, Chief.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of full-time police officer Abby L. Ballman, effective January 23rd, 2020.
Okay, so it's not there. Oh, so moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion is approved. We will miss Abby. She's going up to Blue Ash, is that accurate? Yeah.
So you also are accepting applications at this time.
for one.
Table for one.
Yeah, well, that's
We
good.
hate to lose Abby. She was here a little more than 3 years. But Blue Ash is a good department, and we really can't compete with them.
Yeah,
So I just hope it ends there. We recently took 6 from Norwood.
yeah. Well, as some that have gone on, and you run into them down the road,
It's ironic, because I'm on
Yeah.
the SWAT team, and we had a search warrant this morning, so happened to be in Blue Ash, at a high-end apartment, and I walk in at 4 o'clock for briefing, and there she sits. So it's kind of,
yeah,
Surreal.
kind of different, but,
Yeah. Well, wish her the best from all of us.
yeah.
We'll miss her.
And all of us are out in public circles all the time, and I can't tell you how many times that our safety services and the police, and it's just unbelievable. You guys have a great reputation, and you work hard, and I got to go over earlier today, and that was awesome to see things going on, and Delhi is safe. They should feel that, I'm sure.
we don't, not too many people, and I know my 27 years left, so. Both the Blue Ash. Westchester, and he came back.
There you go. Grass is always greener.
Thanks, yeah, amen. Thanks, Chief. Administration, please.
We have a motion proclaiming Monday, February 3rd, 2020 as Todd Portune Day in Delhi Township.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. And we have a proclamation here for Todd, which we will release. We'll do a press release on this also. I think this is nice. This is for February 3rd, right? Which is the day that he'll be laid to rest, I believe. Okay. Whereas the Board of Trustees of Delhi Township want to publicly pay homage to one of the great public servants of our time, a fellow local government official who looked past political parties to find common ground with other community leaders. And Todd Portune was one of the longest-serving Democrats in the Cincinnati region. He has a political career history that spanned more than 25 years. He elected to the Hamilton County Board of Commissioners on November 2nd, 2000, having served 8 years on the Cincinnati City Council. Commissioner Portune's contributions were limitless throughout his career, serving in a leadership capacity on many boards, committees, all focused on making improvements to public health, public safety, and the environment, while also emphasizing the potential for economic growth. And he had a special connection to Delhi Township through his mother, Alice Hausfeld, who grew up on the family farm. Where?
On Rapid Run.
On Rapid Run. There you go. So a nice connection. He was a great supporter, and he was a friend of the township in many capacities. He was our go-to person when confronted with a challenging issue, and he always celebrated with us our accomplishments. And Commissioner Portune will be remembered as an elected official who was able to work across party lines with people from all political parties to create a better life for the citizens of Delhi and Hamilton County. We wish to pause to remember, celebrate, and thank a courageous man who devoted his life to the welfare of others. Someone who considered his physical challenges to be a blessing, which allowed him to grow and help others who were faced with similar life changes in their lives. May we all remember Todd Portune and try to live by his example. Now, therefore, be it resolved in celebration of his life on the date of his public visitation, we declare Monday, February 3rd, 2020, to be Todd Portune Day in Delhi Township. This is adopted by your Delhi Township Board of Trustees this 29th day of January 2020. Trustee Sturts.
Yes. Being, what do I want to say, physically challenged, Todd would show up at all times and anything that went on in Delhi. When we broke ground on the fire department, when we dedicated the fire department, every Memorial Day and Veterans Day ceremony held by our veterans and anything else that was going on. I was always impressed that he was here to support all of us in a personal capacity. So God bless him and bless his family that he's left behind.
Good. Trustee Seavey.
Yeah, I'd just like to add that, he was a real champion of township and local government. And during our recent court battle with the water bill, he was our biggest ally and helped get that through the courts. And we really appreciated his help and his insight into what we were fighting. And I mean, there's certain images about a person that after they're gone, you still flash back to. And I can remember him coming into Judge Ruhlman's courtroom that day, and he had walked on his double crutches with his, at that point, prosthetic leg, and was just, he wasn't feeling well. He was there. He made it there. He said there was no way he was not going to be there for that fight for local government. So I just want to say rest in peace, Todd Portune.
Thank you so much. Incredible accomplishments, and I think the thing that stood out for me and meeting Todd at several functions that I was at through the years, Todd didn't care if you were a Democrat, Republican, or Independent. He didn't care about the letter after your name. That wasn't what it was about for him. It was about what was good for the community, what was good for the person. And I think 99.999% of the time, that's how he functioned. That was his MO, how he lived his politics and lived his life. He will be missed by many. And as we said, the accolades still keep coming in, and you'll hear other things about him. But I do know, and I think you'll back me up on this, Cheryl, that when he came out, he always prided himself that he had a Delhi connection.
Always.
Yeah.
Always a reminder.
Yeah, so rest in peace, Todd. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we have to do this next one, which I don't think we want to do, but that is the voluntary resignation of Jerome Kearns. Please. Resignation recommendation?
We've got one more before that.
We've got a resolution 012.
No, we don't have to do that one.
Resolution 2020-012, resolution declaring an intent to conduct an internet auction through GovDeals for the sale of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit township personal property, effective until December 31st, 2020, and dispensing with the reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion?
No?
I can speak to it if you want.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty obvious what we're doing in that, isn't it?
Right. Good. Okay.
Thank you, though.
I move to dispense the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution approved. Passes. Good. It was the next one that I was looking to skip, I think.
No. Tony? Tony, please don't be listening.
Is Tony here?
No.
Oh, darn it. Tony's not here.
Motion to adjusting the salary or the hourly rate of Anthony S. Roach, full-time zoning administrator, to $57,000 annually, effective January 24th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved. Resignation recommendation, please.
Motion to accept the voluntary resignation of Jerome H. Kearns as Board of Zoning Appeals member, effective January 15th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. Motion approved. Thank you again. Awesome.
Resolution 2020-013, resolution adopting the recommendation of the Delhi Township Zoning Commission in case ZC 2019-03 concerning text amendments to the Delhi Township zoning resolution to modify various existing sections and to add a variance definition and factors for determining area and use variances and dispense with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2020-014, resolution for accumulated debris at 306 Anderson Ferry Road, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution? Greg?
Yeah, this is definitely a repeat offender at this property. There's a lot of beverage cans laying around the yard, and as you can see, a stack of wood at the end of the driveway. So it was in that condition as of this morning, so we do request you declare it a nuisance.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2020-015, resolution for accumulated debris at 1256 Cassandra Court, declaring an emergency and dispensing with second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
It's a first-time offender. Those trash bags are still on the side of the house as of this morning, so we do request you declare it a nuisance.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution.
Resolution 2020-016, resolution for accumulated debris at 4027 Delhi Pike, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion?
This property down at 4027 Delhi Pike, this is actually an attractive photo of this home. This house is actually under orders from the building department because building materials are falling off of the home and there's holes through the walls of the home. So we're working with them on getting that addressed, but the building materials are still laying in the yard as of this morning, so we do request to declare it a nuisance.
Please tell me it's unoccupied.
It is unoccupied.
Except there might be critters. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2020-17, resolution for accumulated debris at 4872 Mount Vernon Road, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
Yeah, as you can see, there's large limbs laying in the yard. This is probably the second or third time we've addressed the limbs. In the summertime, we're always addressing excessive vegetation at this property. The limbs are still laying there as of this morning, so we do request to declare it a nuisance.
Is that home occupied?
We're not even sure.
Do we know who owns it?
Yeah, it's listed on the under declaration sheet. It is owned by Barbara Bibus. I think Bibus, B-I-B-U-S.
Oh, okay.
So,
So new owners since the others that have happened with that then?
this is the same owner.
Also-
It's not transferred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not sure if she's living there or not.
Yeah. I have not seen anyone in there since I live a block away from that and I pass it every day. I haven't seen anybody, but that's been there for a while. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2020-18, resolution for accumulated debris at 5354 Whitmore Drive, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on the resolution?
Yeah, this is a first-time offender. There's a tire and some other debris on the side of the house. They did speak to our inspector this morning saying they would have it cleaned up by the end of the day, but we decided to leave it on the agenda in case they didn't, so we do request you declare it a nuisance.
Okay.
Will you check this again before this is handled?
Yeah,
How's
what will
that work?
happen after tonight is once we get the signed resolutions, we will go out and post the property, and then that gives them another 7 days.
Okay, but if
And
it's taken
and then
care
if
of,
it's
then.
resolved, we don't go in.
Good,
Yeah.
awesome.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please.
sneezing.
Oh, you're cold.
I'm glad the air conditioning is working. The tissues are blowing.
I have a jacket.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, resolution passes.
Is there a full moon tonight?
It must be.
Yeah. Had to get real warm.
We don't need to be that warm.
Very good. I don't have anybody signed in for public comments or anything. Anyone wish anything good for the order that they would like to, since you spend the time to come out tonight? Anything? What was it? Turn the heat on. We must pay that bill.
Or turn the air conditioner off.
Yeah. Very good.
Having a bit of an issue?
Announcement of community events. We'll be out of here soon enough. Community events.
If he reads fast.
The Delhi Historical Society Program, Helen Hamilton Gardner, and the Secret History of Women's Suffrage in America will be Monday, February 10th from 7 to 8 p.m., and that will be at the Delhi Park Lodge at 5125 Foley Road. Delhi Township Veterans Association General Meeting is Tuesday, February 11th. from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., and that's at the Delhi Senior Community Center at 647 Neeb Road. Cakes, Corks, and Constellations will be Friday, March 6th at 7 p.m., and that will be at the Delhi Park Lodge at 5125 Foley Road. That's all we have.
Hey, that's,
Oh, we have one more.
yeah, one more.
All together now?
Jack, Jack.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jim. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That's a beautiful shade of red, Jim.
That's the event that Jim looks forward to every year.
Okay,
so-
where's it at? I don't see it. It's not on my sheet.
Very good. We have to go to executive session tonight. Can we have a motion to retire to executive session, please?
Motion to retire to executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, and/or compensation of public employees of the township and economic development matters.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, motion is approved. Hey, thanks for coming out, everyone. Our next meeting is going to be on Wednesday, February 12th. That will be our special Valentine meeting, so please come on out and join us for that.
Dressed in red.
Dressed in red, yes. Wednesday, February 12th, 6 p.m. Thanks for coming out. Good night.